Hey y'all, I'm Lockliff and I have another speed build for you. This has been the longest video that I have put together, but only because this is the longest speed build that I have done so far. I decided to put all of my bird villagers that I hunted for and amiiboed into one residential area and adding in those spooky / fall related items, so I hope you enjoy. So I'm going to start it off by kind of showing you the area that I am working with. I did terraform some of this, but I did plan ahead in terms of where I wanted all the houses to go. So here I have Wade's house that I'm not going to move, and then 2 other homes that I'm going to bring over here. Another one on top of this cliff as well, and then I have some more to bring across. So first things first, let's move in all of the villagers and add some inclines. And of course, I mentioned I did some of the terraforming, but I didn't do all of it. So here is me kind of terraforming some of this land to make room for an additional home. Now I knew I wanted a bridge to go across a river, so here is me creating that river where that bridge can go across. And then more terraforming, of course. I had to cut down quite a bit of trees here. There we go, look at this empty space. Terraforming yet again. And then all of these bushes need to go. Voila! Terraforming yet again, and you can see I have some other homes planned out. Now I wanted there to be an incline to access the secret beach back here, so I am terraforming an area. I'm not going to decorate that area, but I did want to terraform that for a future build. Now you can't have an area with birds, aka ducks, without a pond, so let's waterscape here and add some water and a little pond here for them. And I'm not one to just create a pond. I wanted to include an additional waterfall, so here's me waterscaping for that. And then of course we have more homes and the bridge to put in place. So here's kind of what it looks like so far. I've moved Dina and Piper's homes and added this bridge. Next, let's move Scoot, add another incline, and let's move in Bill, and another incline to the secret beach. So here's what it looks like so far with Scoot and Bill's homes, and the little incline here that takes you all the way back to the secret beach where I have some weeds and flowers, but those are not permanent, they're just there for now. Now let's move in Norma, and that's the last house. Now here's a general overview of everything before I start adding pathing and items. Here's what it looks like. Lionel and Norma are not going to stay here. I'm going to amiibo in 2 additional bird villagers, so don't get too attached to them, people. Alright, now that we moved all the homes, added all the inclines, done all the terraforming, I now can add custom codes. So my process for this design was to start off with custom codes and add all the pathing, and then go back with items after the fact. Once I get to the item portion of the video, I kind of go all over the place, and you'll see some of that later. But yeah, I did include a little bit of trial and error that I didn't include in my last build. That way you can kind of see some of that process more so in this build than I did initially. Obviously, we got to continue with all this custom pathing, and here's a good example of me messing up on placing the custom coat on the ground. I am having trouble with allergies. My parents just got a new puppy, and I went and visited her today after work, and I think my body is trying to get used to her, so if I sound a little sick, it's because I've been having a sneezing fit when I left their house earlier, so sorry about that. And obviously I had to add some spooky items, so I was getting kind of ahead of myself here. And then gotta add some decor, some natural decor for the ramp area. And then I am gonna include more custom paths. So here's Dina's house almost done. And some more natural decor around her home. I definitely tried to balance trees and items pretty well. So here's kind of what it looks like so far. I need to add more pathing everywhere, especially down here, but here's what it looks like in the moment. More fencing and flowers and trees. Like I said, I tried to do custom pathing, then bring in some of the natural trees and flowers and, you know, all those natural related items, nature essentially, I guess you should say. And then I go back through with the items. So we're finally in the portion of the video where I will be adding items, and I am gonna kind of be all over the place because I will see certain items that I need for an area. I will go to my house and go through my storage and see other cute items that I want to pick out for other areas. So it'll be a little bit sporadic, but hopefully you can keep up. Now, some of these items that I place, you won't see in the final run through because I later in take some of these away and change it up quite a bit. But I did want to include them because it's all part of the process. Now, for Bill and Scoot's home, I wanted them to kind of have a little fishing spot because I have that one photo on Instagram. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's pretty cute. Where they are fishing together during the fishing tournament. And so I knew I wanted to include a little pond for them. Here's me placing more items, and I'm just gonna let y'all see some of that, and then I'll come back in. So I know I haven't been gone for long, but since I have the time here and I kind of just want to let y'all see me place items, I did want to mention that I did a small reaction at the AC Direct that came out. It wasn't my initial reaction, but it was, you know, me kind of going through and doing a deeper dive into what I missed when I initially saw it and kind of covering some of that. Go check it out if you would like, but I'm sure I'm not the only one that is super excited for all the stuff that is upcoming. And I did debate to do this build because we are going to be getting so many items. I actually didn't do any of the item placing for this build until after that direct came out. So I didn't have this part planned ahead, but I figured why not? I kind of got excited for everything that we're gonna get, and I was like, why not just do a huge build with all these items, and then later on, once we get some of the new ones, I can go back and edit some of these builds. I think it's interesting to kind of go back and redo or edit what you initially did to a build, because for me, I'll start a build like my entrance build, for instance. I'm sure before my island is done, I'll go back and redo some of that, especially when we have more crops. So yeah, I'm one of those people that if it's been a while since I've done a build, I usually will go back and edit, whether that be I was inspired with new ideas or I just acquired a new item that would go really well in that area, or, you know, change it up for the season even. I did a lot of finishing an island and then changing it based on the seasons last year on my very first island, and I haven't really done that with any other islands because I just completed them and then started all over again. So for this island in particular, I kind of want to go back to my roots in terms of doing builds and then making edits here and there when I want to, kind of when inspiration strikes me. And this upcoming update is a good example of that, where I want to do a build still, but I'm excited about all the new items, but I know myself well enough that I would just as well go back and add in those new items after the fact. So as you can see, I've done quite a bit so far. A pond didn't seem well enough in this area. In fact, Scoot has a little swimming pool in the center of his home whenever you go visit him. So I kind of wanted to stick with that and give them a little swimming pool here. I tried to use a lot of water features because it kind of reminds me of birds in a way, where you have bird baths essentially. So I kind of wanted to mimic that with all of these bird villagers all in this one area. So I do have this little garden area in between Lionel and Norma's house. However, I'm not going to add crops yet because I am going to wait for the update to add in some of those new crops. And it just so happened that I knocked down this balloon and I liked that it looked really well there, so I just left it. Alrighty, we reached the end of my build. It took quite a bit of time to put this all together for y'all, but of course I had to do some night shots, so let's just jump right into the show. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. That way you don't miss out on future speed builds just like this. And especially whenever the new update comes out and we receive all those items, I will for sure be doing some editing to some of these and adding in some additional crops. So get excited.